Dark Messiah. What's the full name of it? Hero of Might and Magic? Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. So, the first thing I want to talk about is graphics. The game, you gotta remember, the game came out 2006. And I'm telling you right now, for 2006 game, it's been, how many? 19 years. So you gotta keep this fact in mind. You gotta keep it in mind. Always. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. It's been 19 years since the game released. Amazing. First of all, I'm gonna say, before I'm go like into like full details, like spoiling stuff. So 19 years, Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, amazing game. Amazing game. Even 19 years later, the game came out 2006. Keep it in mind. 2006, 19 years. And the game still looks visually good.
There it is, Sarah. The free city of Stonehelm. Crossroads of money and magic. Deliver the crystal to Manilag and we can be on our way.
I hope so.
Do I control the horse?
It's been pretty dull.
We should go back to the city, where it's safe.
The farther we get, the better.
It's our home.
It'll be our too if they don't drive faster. There's an army of necromancers coming.
Necromancers?
The army.
Fenric didn't say anything about them.
Master Fenric rarely tells everything he knows. Hurry, we'll be safer inside.
This way. They like, you know. Move it, move it. What's that leader behind us? Help me with these casks.
I'm not gonna let some undead thing steal my grandmother's linens.
Whatever you can take in 5 minutes, and that's it.
Why are you in
Those
such
undead
a
devils aren't here yet. Right.
That's for sure. It doesn't push you away, because there is some old games like, well, let's say like maybe Half-Life, the first Half-Life kind of push you away. This game, I think, because it was made on Source 2 engine, I assume, I think that it's definitely Source 2, right? It's Source 2. I'm gonna double check just not to look stupid. The Source 2 never came out. Oh my god, I'm done. Source 2 was, it never existed, right? Yes, it does exist. But it came out after 2015. Never mind. Source 2 engine didn't ship in the game until Dota 2 ported. It's like 10-20 years ago. So CSGO is Source 2. Nice. Okay. This is the Source engine that's been used for Half-Life 2 and not Half-Life 1. Just basically a better version of it. Looks amazing. Still. Not amazing. I'm exaggerating. It's not like it's gonna blow your mind away, but at least you're not gonna throw up looking at the graphics. At least for me, surprisingly, I played this game before, like, I don't know, maybe back in 2010. And I'll tell you right now, I didn't finish the game at that time. I played only like a few chapters. So I didn't remember any of the... I didn't remember anything about the game. And I played it today. In 2015, 2025, I was surprised that the game didn't push me away with the graphics, with the textures, like everything sort of like... It is old. You can say it's old, but it's not terribly old. It's like a fine wine, you know, with years. Actually, it's a bad comparison. It's not getting better, but at the same time, it's not getting worse. It's still playable. Fix on that. Just think about it. I would say if you never played the game, I just want to do no spoiler section first for the people that never played the game. Play the game. It has unique gameplay mechanics. Maybe, of course, because it's 2025, for some of you, it's not going to be that unique. But I honestly, and I played many games, like maybe I cannot even count, 200, 300 games, 400. A lot of games, and I don't remember anything even remotely close to Dark Messiah. Of course you can say, well, Dishonored or Prey or I don't know, Deus Ex, Human Revolution, kind of like that, but no, not really. those games are slow-paced games where you don't use, like, you use the environment in your advantage, but you don't use it the same way you use it in Dark Messiah. For example, in Dishonored or Dishonored 2, you will be mostly reliant on your gadgets, right? And abilities. And that's probably as far as it goes. Maybe there will be like a few environmental elements that you can use to get rid of some of the like enemies or something. But in Dark Messiah, it basically a perfect combination of using what is around you and what you have, your abilities and skills. Nice. We're just not gonna get close. So, going back to what I was trying to say, it has still, to this day, I feel like a unique gameplay that Dishonored, Prey, Dark Messiah focuses on physics and it just works so good. Exactly, actually. It's actually really helpful. Exactly. It focuses on the physics and environment and surroundings around the player, rather than on abilities, on equipment that you have, like weapons, you know, like bows, or abilities, magic, fireballs, and everything. I mean, you still use it, but you use it in combination with the physics and everything around, you know, the environment. Basically, you use it in combination with the environment. This is what it makes this game so unique. In Dishonored, you're not gonna get this. It's not the same experience. Prey, not the same exact experience. And basically, maybe the closest game that I feel like maybe resembles Dark Messiah is, I forgot the name of it. It's about this thief. I think it's actually called Thief. Yeah, I think that game might be the closest one to Dark Messiah, like in terms of how you play it. But for the rest of the games that I mentioned, it's different from them. So that's why I feel like if you never played the game, you should play it. You should give it a chance, because you probably didn't have something even like remotely close to this experience. I want to say something like about the story, but the game is not about the story, to be honest. I mean, it has good dialogue and everything, and books, and oh, my cat, stop, please. The only thing I can say about the story, it has a story. That's it. That's the only thing you need to know. So yeah, you never played the game, buy it. It's like $5. I don't know how much is on Steam. It's pretty cheap. Just go and buy it and play it. It's a short but very fulfilling experience that you probably didn't get from any other games that you played between 2010 2025, as far as I remember. And I played many games in my life. Again, instead of saying it's just short, I would rather say it doesn't outstay its welcome. You can say that. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna go to it, because there is actually at some point of the game, again, I'm gonna get to it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, is that I felt like once you finish 70% of the game, once you finish like 70% of the game, it feels like you're getting to this kind of stage where the game feels slightly repetitive. When you pass like 70% of the game, the game is kind of it can run out of new ideas, gameplay features, something that can surprise you. But again, because the game is just 10 chapters, it's short. I feel if you're gonna play it on the medium difficulty, do you think the game is very difficult? On hardcore, yes. Well, not very, very difficult, actually. I feel like if you have not a double digits IQ and higher, like I feel like it should not be a problem to complete this game. Of course, you're gonna be dying, but you're not gonna be suffering. There is always a way to overcome certain difficult situations. Let's say I had this problem with orcs in the beginning of the game. When you arrive to, I think it's like a third chapter or a second chapter, when you arrive to this new island, and you immediately meet these new enemies, orcs, they were killing me like in 2 hits. Okay. Oh, yeah. It didn't fall.
Orcs, crush humans this time.
Humans. And it was getting a little bit frustrating, but again, the game allows you to use so many different things, so you will always find the way to beat your enemies. Nice.
No, that stranger escaped.
Yes! Saving. This is my attack. Go. Nice. We need more. Yeah. 120 IQ. You might get stuck somewhere in the game at certain moments. Like I had this problem fighting this spider, brood mother. I don't know how you want to call her. Oh my god. It's a huge arena. Oh no.
Giant spiders. For every one, there's another dozen hiding.
Yeah, save yourself! Ah! Why is it so big? Huge spider when you save Liana. Shit, I just spoiled something. But anyway, when you fight that giant spider, that was a problem for me where I was just kept dying like about 10. I don't know how many attempts it took me, like 20, 25, 30 attempts. What just killed me? To finally beat that spider. So there could be situations like that, but at the same time, they're not that many. The game is not hard really because you can always find a way to beat it. You know, it's not like. Let me think of an example that can sort of make you to clarify the things. You know the game Super Meat Boy, I think it's called, right? Where you can, when you have to jump and go and beat the levels. That game is difficult. The reason why it's difficult because the only way to beat those levels is to figure out a specific route for each of those levels that you go to, where again in Dark Messiah you don't really have a specific direction that you have to choose. You can play around with the game a little bit and find your solution to a problem. Okay, going back. Let's talk about something. Let's break it down. First of all, because there's a lot of things I already talked about. Story. It's okay. It's not bad, but it's not good either. I'm not gonna lie. It does what it's supposed to do. You know, like it gets you from point A to point B, and it gives you a basic motivation.
You know what they say about the size of a man's front gate? That big one must be Menelag's.
Ooh.
I hope he wasn't
Let me look
caught
at my
outside the
door.
walls.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Excuse me.
Oh, you must be the envoy. Here's our guest. Bye, guards.
Okay.
I'm here to see
Okay.
the Wizard Lord Menelag on behalf of Master Fenric.
You must be Sareth. I was getting worried about you, though maybe for no reason. Uncle said you helped kill a Cyclops. No, sorry. I'm Liana, Menelag's niece and pupil.
Niece? Pupil?
Female?
Uncle will be so pleased to see you. But you'll want to wash up before dinner. Please, follow me.
With pleasure. I mean, yes.
Wait.
Guard! Please.
To keep going, it kind of sometimes trying to surprise you a little bit. Let's say with this is gonna be a spoiler because you have this demon inside you, right? The entire game that is talking to you in your head. Yeah, help me out. Get rid of this woman in my head.
No, Sarah! I'll stop you! You can't kill me!
I can.
Sareth, Master, I'll do anything you ask. I'll be yours forever.
What about shouting up? The demon eventually gives you some kind of power, and then you can make a choice several times throughout the game to save certain people or kill certain people. Like let's say you want to get rid of Liana, who's supposed to be like she's supposed to represent the good. Let's save that girl. I swear, if I have to find a very difficult boss fight against like a freaking giant spider, we're probably gonna have to leave her behind. Ending, I guess. Like she's just there to kind of guide you to the good ending, and you have this demon who's supposed to guide you to the bad ending. Not when I just find out, you can also have like sort of a good ending with the demon too, but we're not going to talk about that right now. The game sometimes kind of trying to make it seem like the story is not that simple. But if you think about it from the side perspective and trying to analyze, but it's basically about you just being a guy who's supposed to save the world. That's as much as it goes. And you have like bad guys, and the bad guys, they're typical bad guys. They're just evil because they're evil. You have again this girl who represents the good, and you have this demon who represents the bad.
I'm sending you to the free city of Stonehelm to meet a sorcerer named Menelag. He and I have certain shared allegiances. Right now, he's looking for an artifact called the Skull of Shadows, for reasons of his own that are doomed to fail. He thinks you're going to help him, the fool. At least not without this, the Chantary crystal that we retrieved. However, boy, I don't trust you out there alone. I need someone to hold your leash. One
Don't
can
touch me.
travel lighter than two, Sarah.
Don't worry. You'll learn
No,
to
get off
enjoy
me.
the pain.
Get off me! No! Stay away! Oh.
Sareth, wake up. Easy there. What happened?
Xana? What's going on? Who? What are you, really?
That dream was just a necromancer's curse. Don't believe any of it, dear. I'm a friend, an ally, and I could be even more.
I don't trust you at all. And you have a choice, a clear choice between those two. It's super obvious. For 2006, I would say again, just keep it in mind, the game is super old and it's small. As of like right now, I would call it back in the day, it was like probably a AAA project. People would call it AAA game. Right now, it's more of a double A. You don't play this game, like, you probably won't enjoy this game for the story. Again, it has several endings. If you're gonna look at them online after you complete the game, you're gonna realize that they're not that different from each other. The guy is ready to endure everything.
From greed or fear, he will decide. The Chained One is left alone. The relic's power yet untapped, and Ashan's fate still yet unknown.
The guy is a professional endurer. Okay, that's it. That's all the endings. They're not that different from each other, to be honest. I mean, they all like lead to different sort of endings for the world. Of course, they show you a different outcome of your decisions, but representation of those endings, the way they, like the cinematics, let's say, they like similar. It's just different dialogue at the end of the game. That's it. Not dialogue, monologue. So story, I would say it's plus and minus, so it's good and bad at the same time. It's good enough to take you through the main story beats and make you to be sort of interested, and but it could have been something more. I don't know. Not being that direct, not being that like sort of. I know you're probably not gonna like this comparison, but Disney-like. Again, what I mean by that is that you have the good, your character sort of, and you have the bad, you have the main bad guy, and throughout the entire game you're just chasing that bad guy and you're trying to stop him. That's it. There is no like unexpected character development from your character, like the main character. I mean, you make the decisions for your character, right? But at the same time, the character also got his own personality, and its personality depends on your choices. Still, it doesn't really surprise you. There are 3 sides to the conflict: Liana, Xana, Arantir. I don't think Arantir. Wait, can you? Oh yes. Okay, yeah. Okay, I thought for the ending. Yes. There is Arantir, Liana, and Xana. But again, the conflict, they're not that complicated. So yeah, it's again, it's good enough. It's good enough. I'm not gonna stick around with the, like, analyzing everything in the game. All you need to know, it's good and it's bad at the same time. It's good. It's good enough, but it could be better. Now we're gonna talk about soundtrack. There is another thing that I didn't, like, me personally, I didn't notice any memorable songs or sound like osts or something like that. I'm pretty sure they're like a few. We can listen to them right now. I don't know if I'm gonna get copyrighted for this. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really like something I would say, wow, I will remember this. If there was like at least one soundtrack that I would just say, wow, like, it sounds pretty epic. But honestly, nothing stuck in my head. Unfortunately, it does enough for the story, I guess. It does enough for the immersion. It's, I guess I can say, well done. But nothing really outstanding. There would be, because there's so many games that at the end of the game, I go to the internet and trying to find, okay, what songs were in this game, and sometimes I listen to them outside of the game actually. But in this game, I didn't find anything that would be kind of inspiring me maybe to do something. There was maybe one fight with, I don't remember, maybe with a dragon or with a giant, how did they call them, trolls, or maybe with the spider. I don't remember. There was one fight with a big kind of monster, and I heard this music on the background, and I was like, okay, yeah, it it does something, like it sort of ignites the fire in me to go into the battle and fight this creature. But that was only one example, and I don't even remember when exactly it happened. It happened at some point, I just don't remember when. So I would give it, unfortunately, a minus for this. But I'm gonna give a plus for sound design, even though partially it comes from the source engine, right? Like there are definitely a few sound effects that I was like, oh, I heard this before, but it didn't make me cringe or anything. It didn't make me to think about, oh, they used this, they could have done something differently. No, I'll give it a plus. The game is satisfying with the sound effects. When you throw like enemies and they like into the spikes, or you kill enemies, they make this sound. Like when they burn, they're like ah ah. Pretty satisfying. When you cut their heads off, there's like this sort of effect. I can't even describe it, but it's like psh, and oh, you're like okay, yeah. But it's a combination of things actually. There's like a slow motion happens, the body get separated, you know, the body parts getting separated, and on top of that there's also this like satisfying like sound effect when you're kicking enemies, when you're blocking stuff, when you're walking, even monsters, like everything on that side, everything is good. Like sound effects, sound design, amazing. Loved it. It was really actually satisfying, like doing some sort of like using your staff to kick enemies, so like this makes this like poof, poof, poof sound. Oh, okay, so this is gonna be my weapon now. Drinking potions, using magic. Pretty good, pretty good. Another category, which I usually don't do, is just a separate plus. It's not like a separate section, sort of like, you know, the story, music, what else, gameplay, and it's not a big separate section by itself, but it's something that I should mention. Definitely physics plus environment design. This is what makes game shine. This is what you need to play this game for. Because all this, like, you know, the game has combat. You can use swords, shields, there's abilities, the skills that you can upgrade. All those things, they're good, of course, but what really makes this game to stand out, even right now in 2025, is that it's physics and environment design, the way it's all working together, like in this like synergy. I will explain. The game has a lot of moments. Let's say you go to this arena, you go inside of this like sort of, yeah, I'm just gonna draw it here. Like you go inside of this arena, you're here, and then you got a bunch of enemies. One is here, one is here, one is here, one is here. But also this probably arena is gonna have traps. It's gonna have something here, it's gonna have something here. There could be like a booby trap like that you can stand on here. There will be spikes here that you can use. There's gonna be some kind of thing that can, some kind of big thing that can be dropped on the enemy. So you go inside the arena, and then you, instead of like fighting them like this, you kill this guy, then you go this. You're gonna be probably working around all these things, all these traps, all these environmental elements to help you to win your fight.
I think
Have a
he went
plan.
that way hidden for long. You can't hide
Why?
get my hands on you.
Bro, I think they just panicked.
Stay hidden for long.
Oh my god. This is so fucking...
Man, they'll have my hide for this.
Oh my god. That's the example of overreacting. You're gonna kick enemies to those spikes, which is like the funniest thing you can do in the game. I was never getting tired of it.
We've got him now.
Ooh. Oh, I'll do this again. You can just kick someone. Like, maybe if you played Bulletstorm had the same type of feature when you can just kick someone into spikes. Usually it's just spikes. Or there's gonna be some kind of edge of the map. It's kind of cliff. You're like on the cliff, and you can just kick someone off that cliff down, and they will die instantly. You can cut the ropes somewhere here, and a big giant boulder will fall on your enemies to kill them instantly.
Flank him. He's trapped.
Ah, God damn it. Nice! Ay, not nice! You can pick up some little thing, like you can lure them to these booby traps, and it's gonna kill them too. I'm gonna probably play like a few clips in a row for my video. Like right now it's gonna be probably a few clips of the most like funny moments that you can do, like the funny things you can do in the game. You can, besides these things, like booby traps, there's things that you can pick up, like a beer sort of keg. Oh, you throwing shit. Okay, I can do this too. You started first, by the way. That you can pick up and just throw into your enemies, or not your enemies, your friends too. I accidentally threw... You'll see what happened. Like, I threw one of the... I threw one of the things that I picked up at one of the... how would you call them? Companions next to me. And because of that, I failed the quest. But, I mean, I failed the game.
We did it! Onto the island!
Yeah, stop talking!
You're amazing.
Take off.
I already
Take off.
knew that.
Tears
Right now,
off,
take
care
off.
of the crew. Sareth and I will raise the anchor.
Your orders, milady.
Sareth,
Take off!
could you come with me? It's...
Okay. He hates me now. Come on, it's just a little crate to the face. But it was still okay, you know, it was fun as hell. Funny moments like enemies screaming after you kick them off the ledges. Yes. There's gonna be a clip here somewhere, if I'm gonna find it, where you just kick enemies. Like, they're trying to climb to you, maybe even. Like, they just climb to you and you just kick them off. They're falling and just screaming while they're falling. What's happening?
Let's kill him.
The approach should be clear.
Amazing. And again, physics of the game just lets you to do all this crazy things. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call them super crazy, but these things that require your sort of imagination plus your strategic approach. Because the way I did it, I would go sometimes go to this, like, again, the game is not open world necessarily. It's a corridor fantasy RPG, I guess you can call it that. Like, you go inside of this arena, there's gonna be like a hallway, and there's gonna be a new arena. Sometimes it would be a little bigger, you know, maybe there's gonna be a few places you can go at the same time. There's gonna be this room, and maybe you can go and there's gonna be even, like here, it's gonna be even a bigger room, like a super giant room that they can use, that you can explore. So it's more of a just tunnels together most of the time. There's not really open world, it's just arenas. And every arena, the game is trying to be super experimental with the things that you can do. It's trying to give you... There was one... I probably won't be able to find the clip of that because I didn't save the stream. But there was a moment where I cleaned the arena from enemies. I killed everyone here, like everyone is dead. And I was walking around exploring, well, what I can do here, what I can do. And then eventually I found out that, okay, if I would be a little bit more vigilant, a little bit more, you know, aware of the surroundings, I would notice there was this like a giant wall on the side that just asked to be dropped on your enemies, but I didn't use it. So the next time when I'm gonna play the game, I'm probably gonna use it because I know where it is. There's a lot of little things there and there where you can just use stuff around and play around with your enemies, do some crazy stuff. You can literally, like, also don't forget about your abilities, but this is what I'm gonna, this is gonna be about combat. But combat is, like, your abilities can be combined with the environment. You can do stuff combining your abilities and the environment to kill your enemies more efficiently. The only one complaint I will make for this thing, it's not a necessarily like a huge complaint, but it is a complaint. I'm gonna give it a plus anyway. By the way, pluses, they mean that, like, this is good stuff. Minuses, they means it's like, okay, probably something negative. Plus and minuses, you know. You can put 2 plus 2 together. Anyway, the only one complaint is that around chapter 8 to the final chapter, I don't know, what's the final chapter, 10 question mark? I don't know. This is 11, by the way, it's not MM. When you complete 70% of the game, it feels like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it feels like the devs, they kind of got either lazy or they were rushed, or they just didn't know what they can come up with. Maybe they were out of ideas. But around chapter 8, 7, you started to feel like there are less and less of cool new things that you can do in the game. This kind of, like, you can drop the huge wall on your enemies. I only seen that wall, such a giant wall, one time in the beginning of the game. And I don't want to complain about that, couldn't find the second wall like that. No, it's fine. It's actually good that the only one wall like this exists in the game, because, like, you know, it gives you sort of an option to go back in the game, replay it, and do stuff differently, some things that you didn't notice, right? So, but I do have a complaint that at some point they just forget about doing these little things there and there to kind of give you, you know, stuff to play with or some kind of things to come up with. At some point, I noticed that you go to the, like, okay, you go to a new arena, and what you're gonna see is gonna be the same exact things, which is walls with spikes. I feel like almost every single arena has spikes in them. Or another common thing is probably bottles with oil that you can pick up and throw at your enemies to set them on fire and kill them instantly. These things, they're getting introduced in the beginning of the game. You use them, but then the game doesn't He's not trying to surprise you with even more stuff, you know, like the wall I mentioned, something like that. Some kind of device that you can use, maybe. Let me think about some. Let me give you an example. So, okay, here's the thing. Maybe I played the game wrong, but there was a moment when you fight a giant spider. I mentioned this before. You fight this giant spider, and then before the giant spider, like 3-4 chapters before, you fight this giant I remember their name, Cyclops. This is Cyclops, by the way. Looks like balls and something else. Yeah, this is Cyclops. So you fight this dude, and arena that you're fighting at has shelf that holding huge boxes, and all you have to do is to break the pillars that holding that shelf. So you break you break those pillars, and the boxes fall on the Cyclops. Oh my god, he's coming. We need a plan. I know what to do. I'm here. A little closer.
Yes! Destroy it!
Ah! And this is how you can defeat him, right? But then when you fight this giant spider, I freaking hate this enemy. Like a boss fight. When you fight this dude, there is no things in the environment that you can use against that spider. It's only like spider itself, and you just fighting that spider by attacking a very specific weak, the point of weakness, basically. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. You know, I have a plan. Ah! On its belly, and that maybe there's some kind of other way, like. But as far as I checked the map, the arena that you're fighting with that spider with, there is nothing you can use there to, you know, to get sort of advantage, except maybe you can get to the top. There's like a little ledges that you can use, like you can get like to the second floor and kind of can try to fight that spider from that second floor, but it's not really a thing that you use. Like I said, something that is physics connected and environment connected. So this is like one example, but again, what happens is that sometimes I go to the arena, I go to inside the arena, and what I see is a bunch of spikes, that baby oil, maybe a few boxes there, and that's it. And that would be your like arena that you fight at. And I was like, okay, but give me something else to play with. Give me something like in the beginning of the game when you meet Liana's father. When the game just lets you to go and fight. Basically, when you fight your first soldiers, there would be so many things you can use, like 3 or 4 or 5 things on the arena that you can use against them.
Kick him over the edge. Be efficient, Sarah. Ow!
Away. Oh! Juicy.
You see the spikes? You can hit your enemies against them.
Yeah.
It's quite a... Break the planks. Use the environment to your advantage.
It's too late. There's a bonfire. There was a giant bonfire. There were those spikes. There were a thing that you can push, like some sort of a giant crate on them. There was that baby oil, right? You can drop something on them. You can use the boxes and everything. like immediately the game gives you this like 5 things you can do with the soldiers, right? And then by the end of the game, it comes down to maybe 2, 3 at the best. That's my only problem. After you complete like chapter 8, 9, you just feel a little bored. Like you've seen everything. It doesn't give you any more like giant walls to drop on your enemies. It doesn't give you sort of, I don't know, like a giant chandelier that you can drop on your enemies. It's gonna go back and forward like in the beginning of the game. It's just, at some point it kind of forgets about those things that it has. And it's upsetting. But because the game is short, you still not getting tired as much. You still like, okay, yeah, I'm really close. Like you get to the point where the game already showed you all its best sides, and you just at that point you overpowered, you know everything. And now what the game is trying to do is just overpower you with more and more enemies on the map, instead of, you know, maybe introducing some more difficult enemies to kill you. Let's say like instead of soldiers, introduce like a super soldier that is immune to fire or something like that. But what the game will do, it will just give you 10, 15 of the same soldiers, and you already know how to beat them. You already know everything. You already see the spikes and just throw them at those spikes. That's one thing. Another thing, now we're gonna talk about, well, it was part of the, I guess I discussed part of the gameplay. Main game, what I mean by main gameplay, because I already described physics and environment design, it's actually I gotta learn how to stop doing that. It's actually connected. Your gameplay, 50% of your gameplay is playing with physics and environment. But there is another thing, which is like RPG elements, I would say, like RPG elements. So you have this, you have typical, you have, here's a plus. The game gives you a bunch of, but such a short game gives you, it's not, okay, super short, but it is short. You can finish it literally if you're not gonna be like crazy like me and trying to play on a hardcore to prove something to yourself. If you're gonna play like on the medium level, you're probably gonna finish the game in 8 hours. Okay, 10. 8 to 10 hours. For 8 to 10 hours, the game gives you so many things to play with actually. So for the beginning, the game has staffs. It has bows. It has daggers. It has swords and shields, of course. And it has some kind of funny weapons that you're probably not going to be using, but you still can use them, but you're probably not going to be using them, but you can try it for fun, like pickaxes and some other stuff. It's got those weird one of like the axe and hammer. Yes, like those, there are other tools, like you mentioned, like hammer and axe. You can play with those a little bit. Let me think. Or before I do it.
More spiders. Ugh, disgusting thing.
I just want to know if I can kill them with this hammer. I think it has 0 damage, bro. I'm not sure, but I think it has 0 damage. Yeah. Okay. There's a category they called blacksmith's hammer only, actually. But again, the main ones: staff, swords, daggers, and everything. You would feel like, okay, you mentioned 4. Is it enough for 8-10 hours gameplay? Yes, it is enough. It is enough because, first of all, you can switch in the middle of the game like almost any time. It's kind of depends on your skills, the way you upgrade them, the way you're gonna go down the skill trees. But you can kind of basically, you can switch your style like any second you want to. The game doesn't really restrict you to the only one type of gameplay. Oh, you decided to go with daggers. That's it, you're stuck with daggers. No. Even the game is kind of obviously tells you that you can play around with the stuff, because throughout the game it gives you different type of weapons. You can find this like a secret. Here's another thing I forgot to mention. Sorry, I will go back. I'm gonna go back a little bit to environment design. I forgot. There are puzzles in the game, actually. It has this little secrets that you can, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what. I'm not gonna say anything about it, so you would be, you know, surprised by yourself. So you would be surprised when you play the game. But there are puzzles in the environment that are, some of them are obvious, and there's some that are actually not. There's gotta be some kind of... Yeah, look. I know what to do. 120 IQ. When you discover some of those puzzles, how to solve them, I felt a level, like some sort of level of satisfaction. I'm not gonna mention any of those. Except, okay, I'm gonna mention one. There's one puzzle. I'm not gonna say exactly what you need to do, but there is one puzzle with the statue. Actually, there are a few of them with the statue that you can sort of control and do something with it. And when I find out about it, I felt good about myself. I was like, oh shit, the game has this kind of stuff. So it challenges your mind a little bit. It makes you to think. But there's a problem. I would say sometimes if you will decide to go a very specific build, like, oh yeah, I want to play as, I don't know, I want to play stealthy. I want to use daggers. And I want to get good daggers. There's a chance that you're not gonna find those in the wild. Sword again. I want to give up. For me, it was a problem with staffs. I started to play with staffs in the beginning because I like you could do like this like kind of kung fu kind of thing, like in your hands, like a Shaolin kind of monk, you know, do some crazy jumps and everything. I mean, you can do this with every weapon, but it just feels satisfying. It feels good, like in your hands, not literally, but in the game hands, like the way you just rotate that huge giant stick. The problem is that for me, I realized that by the end of the game, there's not that many staffs, actually, like decent staffs to use. Fire. I already have this one. On top of that, I just realized it today on like while finishing the game that having sword, having a shield gives you much more advantage than playing with the staff. I should have switched to this weapon a long time ago, not gonna lie. It's OP. What are you gonna do, buddy?
Pay when I get my hands on you. Die.
Especially on a hardcore difficulty, it's just kind of not worth it. And for some reason, swords and shields, I mean, from realistic standpoint, it makes sense. But from the game standpoint, it doesn't really make much sense to me. Staffs, they always have less like damage and cool abilities comparing to swords, right? I don't know, it's just me. I got this personal thing. I finished half of the game, like I got to chapter 6 and I was having like almost the same staff for the entire time. The fire staff.
Stranger's death will bring honor to valor.
Did I miss it?
That spider artifact looks like
Easy. And I was like, when I'm gonna get a new, better, cool one? I already found about 4, 5, 6, 7 different swords that have different effects and different stats. Why I don't get many staffs? Why I cannot find any? Maybe there's a chance that I just wasn't paying enough attention, and actually there are secrets. I felt like I found most of the secrets in the game, and maybe I just got unlucky and I actually missed some of the secrets that would have staffs inside of them, but I don't think so. So at some point in the middle of the game, it feels like a little bit unfair. I don't know. It's just one of the things I want to point it out. Doesn't matter. Puzzles. The game has puzzles. Just remember that. Solving them. Amazing. Feeling good about yourself. Now we're gonna go retreat back to RPG elements. The game has RPG elements. You have these different weapons that you can use. You can always change your style. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a good idea, but you can sort of be in, you can go in several directions at the same time. You don't really have to stick just to bows. You probably won't be. You can kind of be sort of multi-directional. You can use sword, and if you don't like the sword at some point, you feel like, oh, I want to use my bow, you can use your bow. And if you don't want to use your bow, at some point you can use your magic. And you can upgrade your skill. You can go down the skill tree based off what you liked and you didn't like. But at the same time, there's always room for changing your specialty and going in a little bit different direction. There are some other RPG things, like you can drink potions, use scrolls. I didn't use scrolls. I regret it, but I would just always forget about it. What I feel like this game is missing is just, like, in my opinion, it's a little bit better UI. I know, like, people, you might hate me, but I feel like this game might be better off with like the circle thing, the ring UI thing that most of the games have right now, where you just press tab, you have this circle, and you can sort of switch between them, right? I mean, not switch. Like, you can choose in that circle what you want to take right now. I feel like this game might have actually benefit from that kind of UI. But again, it's an old game, 2006, so I'm not judging. They came up with what they could come up with. It works, it does its thing. It's just sometimes it feels like you have this, like, a panel of different 1 to 9 slots for your things. And I just sometimes forget about stuff that I want to do and I want to use. I'm just... where's my scroll of... Don't tell me I just wasted it. And the things that I have in my inventory too, if it would be a little bit more compact, I don't know, like you press 1, you have a choice between your weapons that you have overall. You press 2, you have a choice between the magic you have overall. You press 3, you have a choice between different scrolls you have in your inventory. Something like that. Because I would pick up that stuff in the game, scrolls and potions and everything. Sometimes I just would forget about their existence. But I want to say, though, they are very useful, especially in the beginning when you're playing a hardcore. Learning what you have in your inventory and using that stuff right away, it actually pays off. It doesn't feel like, okay, this game has this potion and it's useless. No. For example, I'm gonna give you a very obvious one. There are enemies that can poison you. And poison in this game, it does a lot of damage. It's crazy. You can, if you're gonna blink for 2 seconds, you're dead. I got poisoned out twice. Oh my god, this is dead end. Ah! I'm not here. Damn, guy's smart. If you're gonna decide, it's fine, you know, I'm poisoned, I still can fight, you won't notice how your health is gonna drop down to like 50%, and then I've been playing hardcore, and then any enemy basically can one-shot you. So you wanna have those antidotes in your backpack to use them immediately. Yeah, though you have to have those like antidotes potions because they're actually useful. They're not there like at the beginning of the game. It's funny, you find them and you're like, oh, whatever. Okay, you know, it is what it is. I found this potion. I found this thing for poison, but I'm gonna be fine. And then you fight spiders and you're like, yeah, it's time to take that baby out and actually use it. Especially good luck fighting this bitch. Oh, I didn't want to curse. But yeah, good luck fighting this spider without having a bunch of those precious potions against poison. Anyway, that's just one of the things. There's scrolls in the game. That's the only thing that I didn't use as much and I regret it. Because scrolls basically like free magic. You can just use them. You can find like a very powerful scroll in the beginning of the game and you should use it right away. I didn't. I don't know why. I just prefer straightforward like a face-to-face combat all the time. But you could do it and it would save you a lot of problems. It would save you from a lot of problems. And another thing that I should mention is spells, abilities. It's fun to use. It is useful. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wanted a little bit more different like spells, abilities in the game, but it is what it is. You have enough and they're fun to use. And they can be used in many different ways. Again, in combination, again, with what? Right, with the physics and environment. For example, as I said, they have a little different shape. You have this baby oil in the game that you can find like randomly on the environment. They just sometimes, like pretty often actually. So you can find them, you can pick them up. What you can do, you can throw it at your enemy. What's gonna happen? The enemy is now covered in this baby oil. What you can do with your magic, you have fire, right? Boom! You're gaslighting that enemy into killing itself.
You.
Nice. Simple, yes. Works, yes. What else you need? Nothing. Pretty good. And it's just one of the things that I've done with it, though it wasn't really intentional. At some point of the game, I found the steps and you get surrounded by orcs. They're coming up those stairs. And on top of the stairs, there were a few those wooden kegs. So you find those wooden kegs on top of those the staircase steps. I picked them up, I threw them down, and at the same time, I set them on fire. So now we have this like sort of a giant fire cannonball that falls down on your enemies and set them on fire almost immediately. And again, it happens sort of by accident, but the fact that it's happened and it was satisfying, it's one of those examples what you can do when playing with the environment. Another thing that I discovered through my friends, because they were watching my stream like after I finished and everything, because they are the one who put me to play this game. They told me like, you gotta play it, you gotta play it. I was like, okay, I'll play it. You can use ice magic, like I think it's called freeze, but I'm not sure. Basically, like you can basically freeze your enemies, but what else you can do? You can freeze the floor in front of you. And again, in combination, again, guys, with the physics, what's gonna happen? Enemies will run towards you because they're a little bit dumb. They're not that smart, and they will slip and fall. Literally, you're gonna slip and fall, and this is how you're gonna get your advantage. I'm not evil, I swear. I didn't use it much. I mostly use it for fun. But the fact is, I didn't come up with this myself, and my friends told me about it, and I was like, oh shit, let me try it. And I tried it, it was fun. So the game has those little things that you can do with your main gameplay elements, like features again, like swords, shields, and everything. Love it. I didn't mention graphics. Guys, the game is was released back in 2006. Almost 20, just think about it, almost 20 years old. Forget about the graphics. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. For me, personally, it's Source Engine. Like, I love Half-Life 2. I cannot really play Half-Life 1. I think Half-Life 1 is a little bit getting on the older side, but this game still looks pretty good. And it doesn't need to be beautiful. Like, the main juice in this game, these two things. This is where you get the most fun. This thing will make you forget about all the other stuff that I mentioned. These two enough to cover, like, for make up for any other things. You know, like graphics maybe gonna look a little bit old for you. Don't matter at all. You're still gonna enjoy it probably. Performance. Okay, I'm not gonna. I didn't have serious issues. My game crashed maybe once or twice at the best. I think only once it crashed. I don't know if it's gonna work, but let's see. Pretty old game. I'm not gonna be surprised if it's gonna not. What's happening? Or maybe twice. Don't matter. Don't think about it. There are a few things. There's some kind of things that can cause you to have a sort of serious bug, but you can always go back down on your save. You know, like if you encounter something that just nothing happened, you can always go down back one save and, you know, avoid the problem next time. But I didn't have serious performance issues. Bugs, those kind of things happen a few times, not gonna lie. A few times happen. Why I'm jumping up and down, man? What's happening?
Never mind me. Kill that thing.
Bro, the game is not working. I cannot choose my weapons.
Sarah, look out! The spider!
What happened to me?
Never mind me. Kill that thing.
I cannot use anything. And I'm at 0 health bar and I'm still alive. I think I just broke the game. When I was fighting a few bosses, like I was fighting this again. Forget, like, this bitch. Oh my god. I'm so angry at this boss. I don't know like how they didn't test it well. But whatever, when I was fighting this giant spider, this brood mother, I encountered a few bugs where I would get like instantly killed just because I was under one of its legs and the legs do damage. And I was like, what the hell, why? Yeah, I think this is how it should be. Oh my god. I think like every time when I touch his tentacles, I get damaged for no reason. So those kind of things, you know? So yeah, there are like a few bugs there and there, but it's not a big of a deal. You're probably gonna encounter some of those. You're not gonna be... Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna cry about them. Graphics again, yeah, I mentioned. So overall, great. Finally, I'm gonna give it a solid 4 out of 5. No, you know what? you know, for Americans, it's gonna be 8 out of 10. Timeless, classic, masterpiece. This game, you should play it. Again, just to summarize it, you should play it. I'm just telling you, you should play it. You should play it and you should play it. That's it. Just go to the store, to the Steam right now. Go to Steam right now. Go purchase the game. If you have like free time, you like 5-10 hours, go play the game. Please, go play the game. Have fun. Have fun, kids. You're welcome. You're welcome. Play the game. You're gonna enjoy it a lot.